close though. So you just go up there, probably dip down. Is that one straight ahead?
Yep, pass straight ahead like the gun sight in the center. So this morning we had to make a difficult decision. We got some bad weather rolling in tomorrow. Tomorrow and the day after are supposed to be really cold, be rain and snow. Not really the kind of stuff we want to be working our way through on a high route. We've had 7 good days on trail, great weather. Might as well call it here. So here's another look at our intended route. This is what we've hiked so far over the last 6 days. And this is our bailout route to the Elkhart Trailhead. It's 15 miles from where we started this morning in Indian Basin, and with a solid trail to follow today, we should have no problem reaching the trailhead by mid-afternoon.
Down and spotlight.
We descend back down Indian Basin towards Island Lake. Several trails converge here in this area.
What time did we start at?
We enjoy easy hiking now around Island Lake and enjoy our last views of the Titcomb Basin area. It's not all downhill just yet. There's a few more short climbs ahead of us. Here, we drop down to Little Seneca Lake.
Okay. Awesome.
How's it going, guys?
Good day.
You too. Now we join the Seneca Lake Trail as it traverses the lake of the same name. The trail climbs again after Seneca Lake, and we walk around some of the last small lakes of our trip. Yeah, and I can hear something down there too. Yeah, it's paved road, isn't it?
Really close.
Trailhead in sight. And now we need to hitch into Pinedale.
Oh.
So it's been a year and a half now since I've done this hike, and I'm just now getting around to editing this video. And this time around, I thought I'd do a post-hike discussion and maybe tie up some of the loose ends in the story, as well as just kind of do a recap on the trip and some of the things that I took away from this one. So first of all, we got back to Pinedale with ease. We actually ran into a couple of guys that we were hiking with over Knapsack Col, and one of the guys had cut his hand pretty deeply with his knife. So they were headed out early as well and seeking medical attention in Pinedale. So we were able to meet up with those guys at the trailhead, the Elkhart Trailhead. They gave us a ride into Pinedale, and we got a hotel. We stayed at the Jackalope Motel and waited out the weather. And we definitely made the right call getting out of the mountains when we did, because other thru hikers were coming into town and were telling stories of, you know, snow line roughly 9,000 feet, right where they were kind of predicting it would be. So for us to be at 11 and 12 and even 12,500 feet along our route just didn't seem like a good idea to continue on with the route. And at that point, we knew we made the right call. We did run into our buddy Perry in town. He had a 0 day on the CDT, so we met up with him and he introduced us to some of the other CDT hikers of the year. And we all went out to the local saloon at night, had some beers, and just had a great time, just kind of hanging out with a group of other hikers. And then you're probably wondering how we got back to our car. So the next day, Katie and I had the pleasure of hitching 175 miles from the west side of the Wind River Range all the way over to the east side. And we accomplished this through a series of, I think it was 3 or 4 hitches. We hitched from Pinedale to, I think it was Jackson's Hole, and then we walked a little bit north out of town and kind of got out of the outskirts of town so that all the traffic heading out, we could actually hitch to. And then we got a ride all the way around the entire Wind River Range on the north side, through DuBois, right down to the spot on the highway where the road up to Trail Lake Trailhead, where we are parked, where that was. So we got out there and then we just waited there for maybe 20 or 30 minutes and got a hitch up that road. So we got pretty lucky there all the way up to the top. And, you know, it took us most of the day, you know, at least 6 hours, I think, to accomplish this. But in the grand scheme of things, for a bailout option, for us to just be able to hitch those 175 miles back all the way, you know, on the other side of this mountain range, it really worked out for us. So a few things about this route. This was my 3rd trip in the winds. And the first 2 trips were dedicated high routes, like north to south high routes. And I've done it northbound and southbound. And on the CDT, we did a 150-mile stretch from Highway 28 all the way up to the Trail Lake Trailhead, where we ended our hike here. And this route was meant to be more of a northern Wind River Range exploration kind of route. But for me, there was a lot of stuff on the east side of the route that has kind of eluded me over the years, and even with this trip, we weren't able to make it to those spots, obviously. But that was the goal, was to do that adventurous east side. And this first west side that we did, that we were able to do, the first 4 days of it was all new to me, and it was beautiful. It was everything I hoped it would be. Clear Lake, Faller Lake, West Torrey Creek, Ross Lakes. It was all amazing. But yeah, we weren't able to do that east side of the route, and it still eludes me to this day. So it's definitely a reason for me to go back to the winds. And as I've said, I've done three trips in the winds now, and I want to say it's in the range of 27 days of backcountry camping in the winds. And the way I sum up the winds is that every trip that you do in the winds, it really doesn't matter where it is. It's going to be one of the best backpacking trips of your life. And for me, I can't wait to get back to the Wind River Range again and have that chance at seeing all that stuff on the east side that's kind of eluded me now all these years. So that's something to look forward to on my future visits. And the Wind River Range is one of those places that once you visit once, it'll be a place that you will return to again in your life, because it is that amazing. So thanks for following along on this adventure. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you on my next adventure.